Hello and welcome to another Monday. This is the last Monday in June. We sure hope everybody's getting ready for the 4th of July because we sure are. Today, we have some exciting news that we want to make sure you've heard. And we're going to continue on the topic and give you some great activities to hopefully help you go get some new clients and make some of your current clients happy. Steve, how are you today?
I'm great. I'm great, Shannon. Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, I know we've got people all over the world, but here in the United States, we're about to celebrate. I don't know how to say it. What is it? The 250th. But
Yeah,
what is the
perfect.
word? There's a word that they keep throwing around. I can't remember.
Quincentennial?
How did we say it again, Brian?
Quincentennial? Is that?
Is that
Quincentennial. There we go.
quincentennial? Okay. Well, guys, Brian's
Yeah,
here. That's a great way to
Hey,
introduce
everyone.
Brian. We get him in the conversation. We have somebody with us today, don't we, Steve?
we do. Yes. For the first time ever on Momentum Monday.
I
Woohoo!
know. It's our first,
Mondays.
yes, our first guest. Brian, you are it. If everybody doesn't know Brian from Titus, you should. I'll let Brian kind of give you more about what he does at Titus and how he does it. But we are, everyone knows, super excited to be partnered with Titus. And we had an announcement this week that Titus lowered their rate for all of their Spiro users to 2.39%. So, Brian, thank you. Thank you. We're very excited that you've given our clients a little bit more of their money back.
Yeah, we feel that photographers, it's important that you guys keep more money in your pocket for every shoot. So grateful to be partnered with an awesome community like the Spiro one.
I know. And I'm sure every photographer definitely appreciates it as gas prices hopefully continue to come down. But I'm sure that hurt for a bit this summer as gas prices hiked up. So your attention to their business is, I'm sure, highly appreciated. So, Brian, tell us a little bit more about what you do at Titus.
All right. Well, I am the success manager for all of our real estate media accounts. I know you've seen our founder and CEO, Nick, on a lot of these events before. So I'm just really glad to be here today with you. As the success manager, I am the voice at the other end of the phone when you call. Also reply to text message, emails. And if you click the help icon in your Titus account, you will see my face there and can book meetings on my calendar. So I'm available if you ever want to talk strategy, and we're the payments company that helps you want to get more payments. It's just about growing your business.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
I can speak from personal experience with when dealing with Brian, just because there's been some things that Spiro and Titus have had to collaborate on. He's always so quick to get back and always does it with a smile. So there's reasons that we partner with the people who we partner with.
100%. And Brian, we are happy to have you as our very first guest on Momentum Monday today. So what we try to do here is some bite-sized nuggets to our users so they can start the week with an activity or a business practice or take a moment to breathe or whatever it is that we're talking about in that week of Momentum Mondays. And Steve and I really thought that since we had the Titus announcement this week, with the rate drop, that maybe we just kind of keep the focus on Titus for a minute. And we really kind of talk about what are, how and what are real estate media companies doing to get those higher average order values or to get those new clients in that maybe they wouldn't have got with having a pay at close option. So that is what we're going to focus on today. We're going to go through a couple different things and hopefully give you all a minute to pause and think about what you're doing to market to your clients or to give you a reason and tool to market out to them. So without further ado, let's just kind of jump right in it, guys. What do you think?
Yeah. One of the things that you said right out of the gate is increasing AOV. What are we seeing with people who are using pay at close? We are seeing about a 25% increased AOV. 25%.
25%.
That's right.
That's a 25% raise, man. I never get a 25% raise. Like,
sure. Yeah, it's incredible.
That's beautiful. So we are definitely seeing, but what we are seeing, and Brian, I'll let you share a little bit this. We meet monthly, everybody. So we meet with Titus monthly to make sure we're aligned and we're doing all we can for all of you. And Brian, why don't you share kind of what you guys have been seeing with the rep size, right? The media business size and what you're seeing with pay at close.
Yeah. So what we tend to see is pay at close is that phenomenal lead magnet. It represents about 5% up to as high as anywhere like 10 to 15% of transactions.
Mhm.
Um, and so what we see then is it's really the businesses kind of in the mid tier, the ones who are not just starting up, who are not just like fully established, but they're out there hustling. They're talking to their conversation. They're talking to their clients all the time. They're having conversations. They're marketing, and they're using pay at close as the differentiator to win new business or to reinvigorate existing business. And so I think the growth, the pay at close percentage tends to be even a little bit higher in that the businesses are doing about like $10,000 to $40,000 a month.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
And that meeting got me thinking about this Momentum Monday, actually. Even, that kind of is what spurred this thought is that it's really interesting to think of like the larger companies who you think would maybe be more consistent in their marketing or have more people to make calls or to do those things would really be the higher achievers. And we're seeing that they're not. So I think it's a moment to say, hey, well, no matter your business size, this is something you should focus on that can bring you a lot of great growth, you know? The other thing I think about it too, it's such more of an educational tool than a sales pitch,
Hmm.
right? Because we all know there's a lot of our users that they don't like sales, but they're business owners. And so sales is a hat they have to wear, right? And
Part of it, right?
yeah, and as we know in real estate, when we educate our clients or educate the community, that is value to them that then they get and say, hey, I want to use you as my real estate agent because you just gave me that for free, right? Like you gave me that knowledge, that value, you spent time with me. And now I feel like you're somebody I like, know, and trust and want to do business with, right? So that is the exact conversation we're having today. How do you use pay a close to lead magnet, to reach out to people, or to even do broker presentations and things like that? So I really think all of this then from your information, Brian, boils down to communication and marketing. And within that, marketing doesn't just mean social media posts, does it, Steve?
No, not at all. Not at
Not
all.
at all.
Because I don't know if you guys have heard of the show Mad Men, but there were people involved in marketing way before the invention of social media, guys. And
Yes.
those things haven't gone away.
Yes. So what I really want to say is that we're going to talk about these activities, these things, these campaigns that can help our users get more people. So I think the first question a rep company should ask themselves. So if you're listening, this is the first question you should ask yourself. What are you doing as a company to offer that pay at close? Are you just letting Spiro do it for you? I would argue a lot of you are. Well, I did it. I added it. I have pay at close and it's on my order page, but nobody's using it.
Right. You have to tell people that this is like a product for you, right? So just the same way as you might need to tell um your customers or your clients that you are now able to offer drone video, right? You have to let them know that you are able to offer this as a service to them. And
Absolutely.
yeah, I mean, you have to let them know that this is something available to them. You can't just assume that they are going to read it on your website or hear about it from Spiro or whatever, you actually have to let them know.
You have to let them know for sure.
Well, you're really bringing them a solution. They want to buy the right media package. They want the drone. They want the Twilight. But they may be sitting there with multiple listings or just kind of at the end of the month, not knowing where the money is coming from. And you as the photographer can now say, well, hey, have you heard about pay at close? You can invest in that right now, buy the package that's going to sell the home, and don't worry about it until the home sells.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
I've got
Yeah.
your back.
Yes. And what we're really talking about there is friction, isn't it?
Mm.
Like
yeah,
we're really talking about a friction that an agent has when they're thinking or they get a listing opportunity and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I need to really market this house, but I don't have any funds to do it." It's a very common thing in real estate. And what we know is if we can remove friction and we give that client an opportunity to say, "Hey, if you need it, this is here for you." Right? But they got to know.
yeah, yeah,
They have to know, and it can't just be something they see when they place an order and never really dig into. And what do we know about agents when they're placing orders? They're doing it as quick as they can, right? They're moving through the screens, they're da 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 da, especially if they're a client that they've been with you a while and they're really used to the order process, right? Like they're just
yeah.
whipping through. I can place an
Doing it from
order.
their They're doing it from their cell phones at a stoplight. Let's be real,
Let's
right?
be
Like,
real.
so yeah,
Yes.
they're
Yeah.
not taking the time to read necessarily every little detail because to them, yeah, they already know they're going to use you, and they know what they want, right? But
Yes.
they're aware that they don't have to pay until close. What else are they going to be adding on? And also, there's a lot of um I'll use the word younger real estate agents. By that I mean new to the industry,
Mhm.
who this is their startup business, right? They've got another full-time job and they've already spent a bunch of money on their license and maybe yard signs and business cards and whatnot. And this is just one more thing that they are going to have to pay for.
That's right.
So yeah,
Yeah, and I think that's, like, such a good, like, similarity with a real estate media company owner. Because what do we know about them? They've done the same thing, haven't they?
yeah,
They've probably switched careers. They're probably in their 40s and 50s, and now they're off to this new adventure where they're building this business, and they've poured a ton of money out into starting it and doing it. Maybe they're doing coaching, all of that. It's the same feeling. So I think just recognizing that, like, they're both entrepreneurs, right? They have both decided that I want a business, I'm going to run it, and this is what I'm going to do. And we all have those frictions. So if you think about it as your business, even and the frictions you've had, it's so similar. And even sharing that story with an agent might be the very thing that gets you the business, right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
"Hey, I understand cash flow in real estate, and I know it's up and down, and so what I've done is partner with this great company called Titus, and they offer you a pay-at-close solution," right? Like, it's as simple as that sentence right there.
yeah. But
Um
how are you going to let them know that? Are you going to hope that they change your mind? Are they
Yeah,
gonna? Are
right?
you hoping? Are you just sitting out and putting good thoughts into the ether? What does that look like?
That's I think what a lot of people do, right? "Okay, I did it.
Yeah.
It's on my order page," right? Agents can know about it. They can read it on their own time. What do we know about agents? Do they read?
Yeah.
Do they? Because I'm not sure.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Unless it's got a contract on it with a dollar sign, right?
that's right. They're
Oh,
not really reading. So a lot of this is just, kind of like Brian, you said it. I got your back. I got your back, whether you need to use it or not. My company not only wants to provide you with the best media possible, I've got an option for you to pay at close for it and not worry about it. And it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg to do pay at close, right? That's
yeah,
another part of that education process that it's like, hey, it's really not going to cost that many dollars for you to make it work better for you, to market the property better, to hopefully bring a higher price, right? So you could also even argue like it doesn't maybe even cost the agent any money because they're probably going to get more money for the house if they've been able to market it appropriately and not just with photos, right? Or
correct.
maybe their cell
Absolutely.
phone photos that we love. I love looking at listings with cell phone photos. Not at all. at all. I can't stand it. It drives me bonkers when I'm looking for a property for somebody and I come up and we're in Dayton, Ohio. So, right, like a $500,000 listing is like a luxury listing. Okay. Brian, I know where you live. That's crazy, right? But it's the truth. And they have cell phone pictures. And you know what? I feel like these people have flip phones too, because I don't really understand these photos, right? Because like your cell phone actually does a somewhat decent job, right? But they can't even hold the phone straight. They can't get a good angle of the room. Like pictures are sideways. They're in the mirror, right? Like it's just like, I'm like, what client hired this agent? I really think that a lot of times,
Right.
like, how did they do this? Okay. So anyway, so much value, right? There is a ton. So I guess let's get to the meat and potatoes, Steve. So what should
Yeah.
this be? This is a marketing campaign, right? That's what we're kind of talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, and when I hear like the word campaign, I mean this is just essentially it's a predetermined amount of touches that we need to provide to someone before they're going to think about this in order for this topic to stay top of mind with them. So, what does that look like? We said it's not all social media, it's not all emails. The best campaign is going to be a combination of every form of communication. Can be very, very simple. It's something though that should be, in my opinion, written down in some way, whether that is literally a checklist on Google Sheets or whether that is you've got a great CRM that you're using, and you're able to actually go through and click through each one of these touches that we have. It should be something that is written out step by step. But very simply, it's hey, week one, you're sending an email and doing a social post. Week two, you are sending a text message to your client base, and maybe a second social post. Um, you know, the whole point of this is that you're hitting them with multiple points of entry. You never know which piece is going to click with which person. So having something set up so that you can systematically send it out and then do it on repeat, right? Not necessarily, you don't have to, as soon as, if we're going to do this on like a 4 to 5 week campaign, you don't need to necessarily start week one right after week five, but
Mm,
maybe the next quarter of the year or the next half of the year, you want to run this campaign again, right? Or a variation of this campaign again.
yes. And please include phone calls in this
Yeah.
campaign. Please,
Yeah. Absolutely.
right? Brian, do phone calls have to be scary?
Not at all. I actually encourage phone calls and text messages. Like, I don't always read my emails. Things are constantly being buried in my inbox.
Mm-hmm.
I am losing things to spam all the time, including a recent friend to a friend's birthday shower or baby shower. And
Wow.
but it was a text message from his wife that said, "Hey, did you see the invite?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I have to do that. I have to take action." And
Yeah.
so it really was a a multi-pronged approach of communication that got me to do the thing I needed to do.
To do
Yeah,
exactly.
and even with email, one of the things that we see is there are lots of different tools to make you to be able to send amazing, beautiful HTML emails. And I think that it is important to do those. I also think it is important to send an email that has zero graphic, all in the same font that says, "Hey, I just wanted to make sure, I just wanted to check in on you and your business. I wanted to make sure you knew that we are offering pay at close." Because when I look at an advertisement email, my brain reads that a little bit differently than
Mhm.
when it reads an email from Shannon, right? Because one is very clearly trying to sell me a thing. And don't get me wrong, there's a chance I might still buy off that. But
Mhm.
the other is very, very personal. And you can still do those mass market, right? Like you can still do those with a good CRM.
Yep.
Well, and I love
Absolutely.
a good phone call as it's a chance to engage with questions. Something that I'm not getting when I send an email or a text message. But when I pick up the phone and I say, "Hey, did you know we offer pay at close?" Or Hey, did you know we have lower credit card rates? Following up on the news of this week, I'm available to engage in a conversation. So you've probably at some point heard from me or seen a missed call if you haven't yet had a conversation with me. But after every phone call, I love sending a follow up text or a follow up email. And
Absolutely.
so this is also an open invitation to the
Yeah.
community that if we haven't yet had a conversation, please do reach out. I'd love to answer any of your questions about how to use pay at close. So if you've watched this and you've got questions, uh, pick up the phone, give a call, shoot a text, send an email.
Absolutely, Brian. And not only that, you guys already have a marketing resource kit for your clients. It is in your
We
account,
do.
guys. In your Titus account, there is a guides section, and there are already emails written there for you. There's already marketing. And we're going to talk a little bit more about this in a minute, but there's even a presentation that you could do for a broker presentation if you book a lunch, tell them a little bit about your company and close it with, hey, by the way, we also offer this, right? So it
That's
is
right.
like the resources are all there for you guys. And I have probably never seen a company like Titus be as well as like so excited to be involved in the growth of another person's business. I mean, selfishly, we all grow when you guys grow. So true, but you guys really mean it. You really want to help. I asked Brian for a document earlier this week. Within an hour, he whipped it up and sent it to me. And he really is there for you guys and can help and answer any questions. So no sorries about your little promo there, Brian. We love you. So, um,
Thank you. I love working with you guys.
but I think you said something that's super important, and this goes back to phone calls. That they don't just need to be that hard, and they don't even need to be that scripted out. Be inquisitive,
Hmm.
right? Especially if you're calling a current client, that's easy. Hey, Steve, just wanted to check in and see how your business is going. We've seen you have a lot of listings lately. Thank you so much for our business. We also wanted to make sure you knew about pay at close because it might help you as you're gearing up all these listings. That is not a difficult sentence. And if Steve actually answered the phone and I said that to him, he'd be like, oh my gosh, tell me more, right? Like, pay at close. What do you mean? Like, I don't have to pay up front for all these listings?
No,
Okay.
it's a really fun phone call to make when you have good news. I think
Yes,
that's the best part is when you can pick up the phone and call somebody with good news. This isn't it's not a scary phone call.
it is
Yeah.
not. And
That's
it's
a very good point.
and start with calls to your clients because honestly, I think that helps warm up you on kind of a call, right?
Mhm.
You get in a comfortable space. You're calling people that you know, like, trust, and use you. You're just making sure that you're educating them on a product that they haven't used yet, right? So very simple, very easy. And then you can start to blend in maybe that target list you have of prospects. And then those conversations get easier, right? Hey, I just want you to know I'd love to be your backup. I noticed that you use so and so, love them, great company. But we are offering pay at close, and I just want to see if that is a solution that you might need from time to time.
Well, and
Again,
I think oh, yeah.
yeah, no, it's not difficult. It's not hard. It's not pressure, right?
Yeah.
And pay at close is such a good lead magnet. It's really the thing that people go, "Oh, yeah, what is that?" We had a photographer out in Arizona run an ad campaign. I think he spent $100 over a 7-day campaign, and he started 8 conversations out of that. And so it's the thing that, or you send out an email blast to a couple hundred people, and you'll get 3 or 4 responses right away, being like, "Pay at close, what is that? Tell me more." And so it really is a great way for you to start conversations, not just about the way people pay you, but everything that you offer and all of the great services.
Yeah, and really, guys, lean
Yeah.
into who
An
you are.
opportunity to just to
Oh,
go
go
ahead.
ahead, Steve.
Just gonna say it's just yeah, it's an opportunity to showcase your personality regardless, right? I mean, being able to have a conversation with somebody, real estate agents know this. I mean, having been on the other end of this, we want people who are easy to talk to, right?
Mhm.
So by, picking up the phone and talking to them, letting them in on who your personality is. It's a really great way for them to get an idea of whether or not you guys are going to work together and have and be a good fit.
Absolutely. And every agent, even as loyal as they can be to their media company, might just need an alternative at times, right? And so there's nothing wrong with making those calls. And I think a good way to put it is like, as a media company, you should just already know you're going to make these calls and you're not expecting an immediate sale. I think that's where people get caught up, right? Like, oh my gosh, I made 50 phone calls, but I didn't get a single order. Okay, you might not right now, but now you've made 50 calls and 50 more people know who you are. And so who knows where
Yeah,
that's going
absolutely.
to lead, right? And I think that's the biggest thing in sales. You're not going to close them all. You're not going to ever have 100% close rate. In fact, if you have a 15 to 20% close rate, you're probably doing pretty good. And if you can get that to 30, then you're rocking. Like, and I think it's people just have to understand the numbers of it. So that's the sales part of
Yeah.
it. It's really just the numbers game, but it can come from the heart. And I think that's the connection people need to make that have a fear of the phone. Just because you're making a call doesn't mean that it has to be the slimiest sales experience in the world. Just call and introduce yourself to an agent. Let them know who you are, how you could potentially help them, give them a piece of value, and then just let them talk to you. And if they're busy and they say they got to go, great, no problem. Send them an email, right? Send them that next step of communication. But these calls, I work with so many people and I've been in sales for so long. In fact, I was just talking to our team leader about recruiting calls because those can get tiring. But I think if you just call and be the genuine person that you are, and if you're a likable person, you're going to have a great conversation. And it might not lead to something immediate, but it's going to lead to something down the road. And it will lead to a warmer call the next time you call them. So that's Shannon Lander's sales tips of the day, I guess, for don't make it too difficult. If it feels better for you to write a little script down and use it, then do that. But we're
Mhm.
just telling you to be inquisitive, be professional, talk more about them. You talk less, try to get them into a conversation and just let them know how you can help them.
Shannon, I want to say this really quick because I know we're going a little bit long today, but I just feel like this is so important. So many people, we tell them in general, you should be calling agents, you should be calling your clients, and in general, right? And the question is like, well, what do I say? This is the perfect thing. This is your opportunity. This is an easy one, right? So this is something that is so relevant to everybody right now. And it is a very, very easy call to make. This is your content, right?
Yeah.
Use this as your marketing piece so that that phone call feels a little less heavy, right?
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. And then the last piece I want to touch on, because I know we did go long today, but I really think our users are going to find this valuable, right? If making these calls to individual agents seems very overwhelming and daunting, but you're like, hey, I don't mind to present to a room, then go book broker
Mhm.
presentations, lead with Titus. A broker needs you. They need people to come into the offices. They need them to provide lunches. They need them to present great topics. Come in and tell them you want to do a little lunch session about your media company, how you help agents, and how you offer pay at close to help agents get the best marketing for their listings. There is not a single broker in town that's going to say no to that unless they have an existing exclusive relationship with somebody. Then you know and you learn, okay? But every broker, because what do brokers want, Steve?
Brokers want agents to come into their office,
Yes.
right?
Yes. And they want them to have listings. And they don't want them to have
Oh, sure.
listings
Absolutely.
with crappy photos, right? They do not, because
Yes.
the agent is the representative of the brokerage as well, right? And so no brokerage is going to say no. And Brian, what tool do you have already made up for these amazing media companies that are not afraid to go out to the brokers?
Yeah, the good news is we already have the slides. They're available for you. They lead with pay at close. They highlight your service. You put your awesome image on it, your contact information, your services, and it just shows agents how they can use pay at close. And my favorite part on that is a quote from an agent that says, I use pay at close on all my listings to get the right media, not the cheapest media.
Boom, mic
What a
drop. I think we're
perfect
done,
line.
guys.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh, I should
Exactly.
say where the slides are available. They're on the Titus knowledge base or by calling or emailing me. I'll send them your way.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yes. And actually, guys, you know what we'll do is we'll I think Steve, can't we add him to
Mhm.
this video? Like
Put them
we'll
in.
go grab him and we'll add him
They're
as
in
a
the links.
document to this video. Okay? So, guys, all you got to do, take a deep breath, make a plan, stick to the plan, rerun the plan, and make more money. Sound good? I think that sounds great.
That's it.
Yeah. That's it's as simple as that. So don't be afraid, okay? Make July the best month you've ever had by just reaching out to a few people more, and get that AOV up. So you could maybe take more vacations if that's what you're choosing to do, or add that next photographer or grow your business. So
Right.
thanks for listening, guys. Brian, thanks for being here. We really appreciate it. And
Thank you,
thank you.
everyone.
Yes.
Happy
So
4th.
until next Monday, which will be after the 4th of July, we wish you all a safe and happy, healthy 4th of July. We hope you all get a little extra time off, to enjoy the festivities, enjoy watching soccer. I'm going to say that because I love watching the soccer right now, even though the USA highly disappointed me last night, but we won't talk about that. Um, but we wish you all a wonderful week, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks.